All right, so today I finally have a new composition that I've been working on. And this one has been a long time coming, something I've been wanting to do for now years, basically. And now that my daughter can talk, she'll request things at night, and so over the last week or two, she started asking for daddy songs, I have music, right? But it's not all music you might want to play when a kid's trying to get some sleep or get ready to go to sleep. So I had the ability to just kind of sit down at the piano and tinker a couple of days ago, and I was able to work out just a little chord progression. So just this is how I used to write music. I still do from time to time, but I haven't done it in this way in quite a while. So I'm at the very beginning stages of this song, and I don't know how much work I'll put into getting it all written down. But right now, what I'm going to end up doing is actually recording this accompaniment that is going to be. Originally, I have it written as a lullaby. I don't know if this one will come across as your typical lullaby, but definitely a song that if I could put into music what I would say in words to my daughter as she grows up, this would be one of those types of songs. So this is how we get started. So this one starts off with a G major chord, but it has a 2 in it, so it's just the note right above a G. This adds a lot of color. I always love playing with those types of chords. I think they add a lot of tone, depth to the chords. And then it goes right to a D major chord that has a suspension, and then it resolves. Okay? And those are my two main chords that I kind of play off of. So that's going to be my intro, and then I'll restate it for 2 more times. And then I have these little brackets that I just put in between these chord progressions. And that's just, it tells me that, hey, I'm going to repeat this one time. I also wrote in some arrows to let myself know that please don't repeat this. So, yeah, I thought this was a pretty interesting one. There's one chord in there that I don't know if I have it written the way that I had heard it originally, or if I'm just not getting in or out of it, and that's my C6-2. I think it's a really fun sound. It's not necessarily much of anything. I actually omit the third, which makes it very, very homely when I get rid of that, and I actually put in the D and the A. It's more of a chord cluster, if you will, to some degree. Makes it a little bit more ambiguous, and it's kind of fun to get in and out of that. So it's kind of interesting. And then I have this one section here that's a little bit minor, and so at least the ideas in this are everything that you talk about. You want great things for your kids, but you also want them to be aware of things out there, but to not be afraid. So it's a really, really short section. What I really think is interesting about this is that there's only one chord that I've added in this that you haven't heard before, and it's this G minor, which in this very beginning and how the piece ends and all that stuff, we have this G major just all the time, and all I've done is add in, change it from major to minor, and when I go from chord to chord here, like in the majors, something along those lines, has a totally different sound. And then again, when I switch that major, because all the other chords are major, this is the only minor chord in this piece. When I switch that one chord to minor, this whole section here, it still doesn't really sound happy, even though that's a major chord. And then I come to another major chord, really interesting how one tiny little difference in one chord can affect multiple chords. And this, if you go and study music, we can talk about this all day, anytime. But yeah, that's just a really interesting thing. So I'm going to try and lay down the bare bones to this piece here. Per how I love to do things. When I write out when I do my accompaniment, I kind of just improvise it. If I end up going down and writing this out, which takes a lot of time getting notes onto paper and then re-recording it as well, the way that you have it then decided, it takes a lot more time. And I don't know if this will be a piece that will end up, making that type of journey. But for right now, I'm just going to record this thing out with nothing more than just those chord progressions. And then I'm going to put a melody over the top of it on the trombone. And that one I will definitely write out eventually. So here is me recording my accompaniment to this. Most likely, before I would actually officially record this and share this with my daughters, I would definitely probably re-record this and make sure that I've got everything the way that I want it to the best of my abilities. But here is this song here for you. So that's going to be my accompaniment that I'm going to end up working with. And yeah, I mean, what I love about, recording on this, obviously, I do have to have a good take. And so I had to re-record halfway through there because I just didn't like some of the things that I was doing. And I want a good take of that, right? But I also, can cough or, my pedal was a little squeaky. I don't know if you heard any of that in there from time to time, and none of that bothers any of this stuff. And it does create a pretty nice recording. So recording accompaniments on my piano here is really, really nice. I just have to remember to save it, because if I turn my piano off, I lose that recording. So yeah, that is the accompaniment to my piece for my daughter.